What's going on? How y'all doing? So the verdict just came announced. Derek Chauvin was found guilty of lynching George Floyd. And it was the only verdict that they could come up with because, let's be realistic, they weren't going to get out of Minneapolis if that verdict didn't come like it was. They had no choice in the matter. You know, George Floyd was like a moment, and it's like an encounter where you have to do the right thing. This pandemic has exposed what we already know. If you were hip and halfway awake about the racism, the institutionalized racism, systematic racism, and then you're seeing how the pandemic is played out, you already know. But he should have been charged with death penalty, him and those three other cops. I'm not satisfied with the choices of selection because he lynched George Floyd. Why wasn't he treated? See, to really rattle the cops, you got to charge it like a death penalty case, you see. And it has to be like a death penalty. That's the only way they'll be like, okay, we need to change our direction. Because some of them will get phased, most won't. But if this had been like a death penalty for Derek Chauvin, had this been facing a death penalty and those accessories there, because I don't know how come his little buddies ain't doing the same bid, because they were accessories to a crime. If you're a getaway driver, you're gonna be charged as an accessory. So this one is kind of like incomplete. It'll make some people feel some kind of way. I mean, but it ain't. I'm like, it was only common sense. Again, this is common sense, but I'm not blown away in the sense that, because it'll be business as usual. You got another cop that's under house arrest, Kim Powder, right now for killing a black man. She can't tell them between a taser gun and she got a third-degree manslaughter charge. And originally, if you remember, that's what they wanted to give Chauvin. They don't want to have to convict cops. And they sure don't want to treat cops like they're regular citizens. They really don't. Because they got this blue shield and this blue wall. So that's what they tried to tell you, And like I said, Maxine Waters was right. But it was the only verdict that could come down to make sense. You cannot possibly have this man seeing the light of day, or that would have broke the whole spirit. And they are thinking, I know they told Derek Chauvin, boy, you ain't getting out of here. This is one time being white, you ain't going to get out. Had he done this 2 years ago, I don't think it would have been half the situation. I don't. Because there are a million George Floyd stories. And I mean that. There's a million George Floyd stories. There just wasn't no video. There wasn't any tape. There wasn't any. But there were a million George Floyds who were lynched. And if they ever did the proper tracking in the United States, you would see there were a million George Floyds. They just did not have the situation to get it the right decision. But this is nothing new. Sadly, it won't be the last. But Derek Chauvin, wrong time. Usually, if you're a white cop and you kill somebody black, they give you a dap and may probably do yard work or get up on the highway. And I'm just saying, because this ain't nothing different. If you black here in this country, what makes what happened last May 2020 any different than 1920 in May? And I can go on and on and on. What makes it any different? They've been killing and lynching black folks for over 400 years. So that badge has given them a green light to do and be as reckless as they want to be. So, So on one hand, it's important that it happened, the verdict. However, they should have gone for the death penalty. I'm not impressed because this merited a lot more. Believe that. And it's, it does enough to keep people sane or hush. But don't go for the okie doke, because the good old boy in the blue wall is real. It is real. It is real. And they will give you one white cop like that that's a bad apple. But bet your bottom dollar, institutionalizing the train of hate is a lot deeper. So that's my thoughts and takes about George Floyd's, the lynching of George Floyd. And Chauvin was found guilty, but he should have gotten the death penalty. And so should those other 3 cops too. They should all be facing the death penalty. And so should Kim Potter. That's how I feel. Because those are first-class lynchings. I don't care what nobody say. But give me your thoughts and your takes. Please hit the like, the subscribe. I welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. And, it's one of them situations where you just know that, you praying for George Floyd's family. But there is nothing to get excited about because we've been dealing with this for over 400 years. Really. I'm out.